Hey guys, what's going on? I want to talk about today how a Chicago Bears veteran, he just made a bold move and it comes right before the Rams game. And you know what? It was exactly what the Chicago Bears needed. I want to talk about Mercedes Lewis and why he's on this team. Also, I'm going to close with a stat no one is talking about. It should provide a ton of hope amidst all the panic, all the negative takes. So, granted, it'd be great, Mercedes Lewis, to not have a false start penalty when you get a few plays on multiple plays. Hmm. But the reason he's in the locker room, it's because he's an extension of the coaching staff and just a great glue guy. And Coach Flu said as much when he was brought aboard. And I talked yesterday. I talked about how teams are basically stacking the box the whole game with as many as 9. No running game. Caleb Williams hasn't been able to take advantage of it yet, although we started to see a light come on in the second half last week. So let's be real. A big part of this also has been the play calling of Shane Waldron. That's obvious, right? On top of the plays actually called, and we can go into some specific ones. I mean, Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, he's been one of the most talked about guys in Chicago sports, right? Offense continues to struggle. Weird play calls. This red zone series when we lost 21-16 to the Colts. I mean, you guys know it. The Bears failed to score. First and goal from the 4-yard line. A 3rd-and-1 play call that Coach Matt Eberflus said needed to be better. Thank you, Coach Flus. That's when wide receiver DeAndre Carter, when he was asked to block a defensive end and just got bowled over. And it also included a 4th-and-1 speed option. Lost 12 yards. Just absolutely ridiculous. And Waldron, he actually took the blame for it on Thursday publicly for the failures. He put it on himself to be better. And a lot of this is due to the actions of Mercedes Lewis being a leader on this team. And I'm going to get to that very soon. So this is from Shane Waldron, just being able to communicate, get to the line of scrimmage a little bit faster right there so we can get what we want out of the plays. And so again, all those things start with me. I've got to be better in that situation, every situation, and I will moving forward. So he's showing a propensity as well to play guys that he's already had a previous relationship, right? Guys like Travis Homer, Gerald Everett, playing his guys over simply having the best talent at his disposal on the field, on the grass. And plays are even coming in late to Caleb Williams on the field. That's what Waldron was talking about in that previous quote. In short, it's just been absolutely unacceptable. But Mercedes Lewis, he led the charge to do something about it. He led the way alongside other team leaders, other players on the team to have a frank and open conversation with Shane Waldron. And I love this for a couple reasons. If it's done respectfully, it's not a mutiny. It can be really helpful. Also, it's letting Waldron know that he can move forward from this with a better relationship with the players under him. It looks like there's been like a disconnect, right? This very well might fix it. So this could be a really good thing. But this is where we are for the season. Waldron is the guy for the year. And it'd be foolish to jump the gun and fire him like so many fans are asking for. It's kind of ridiculous. It's not going to be productive. But I'm going to be honest here. You can also argue that if this come to Jesus conversation is needed, you might very well have the absolutely wrong coach. And I think there's room for that. But for one, I'm willing to see how this plays out. I'm waiting to see what the response is on the field against the Rams, and we'll know very quickly if optimism is warranted. But this is from Kevin Fishbane on Twitter. He gives us some specifics of what went down here. And yes, I'm always going to call it Twitter. Calling it X is, I just think it's stupid. So, all right, this is from Kevin Fishbane. Bears tight end Mercedes Lewis, he talked to reporters today and said his message to offensive coordinator Shane Waldron was this: from the oldest guy in the room, being me, to the youngest guy, don't feel like you can't coach us. I want to be coached. I want to be great. He's very receptive to that. I mean, he's essentially giving offensive coordinator Shane Waldron the permission to coach these players hard. Bears offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, he led his media availability today with praise for the leadership group and the communication he got, just not from Mercedes Lewis, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, and Caleb Williams. Oh man, to be a fly in the wall for those conversations, right? So a little more from the 19-year veteran. Sometimes as a coach coming in, you might be walking on eggshells. I just kind of put that to bed. Nobody's sensitive in here. We want to win games just as bad as you do. And it's a collaborative effort. And I think part of it might be Shane Waldron has been installing this offense. He's trying to use some of his own guys because he has previous relationships with them. And maybe he's not coaching these guys hard enough. Maybe he's not asking. Maybe he's asking instead of telling what he needs. I'm not in the office. I'm not on the team. But man, so granted, I don't think this conversation should be needed. Waldron, he needs to absolutely man up, stop trotting out his guys instead of the best talent at every single position across the board on offense. But big surprise, right? When he did that, the offense looked so much better with Kmet, Herbert, Roschon. It's just silly that he's been trotting out Homer and Everett at crunch time. That seems to have stopped, and I hope that continues. He needs to just make the shift. He needs to make it right now. This isn't an offensive line problem, and I'm sure I'll get comments about that, but it's not. So much of it is play calling, scheme, what these other teams are doing to us, stacking the box, blitzing all game. It's just, dude, call the right plays. Adjust the scheme, which he came into Chicago with a reputation of having that ability. Use the best personnel. These should be obvious things. Lewis was just the true professional here, calling out Waldron alongside the other team leaders and building a bridge. So now it's time for Waldron to respond as a professional as well, right? If not, this will be his first and only year in Chicago. But for one, I want him to adjust, and I want him to succeed, and I want him to be a coordinator that can stay in town. I mean, he did a lot of good work in Seattle, and it'd be just detrimental to do to Caleb what Chicago has done to so many quarterbacks, right? Especially rookies. Bring them in, learn a scheme while adjusting to the pro game, immediately fire the offensive staff after year one. Rinse and repeat, ruin quarterbacks. Everyone gets fired. It's in everyone's best interest that Shane Waldron adjusts, that he settles in regardless of how we got here. Hopefully this meetup, it's a catalyst to do a lot of stuff towards getting this fixed. And Coach Flus, he talked positively about this interaction between Waldron and the players. Eberflus said that he thought Waldron took the feedback from players and staff well this week, and the Bears are trying to work through solutions. So this is straight from Flus. Shane's a great communicator, works well with his staff, works well with the players. All feedback's always good feedback. It really is. I like this, though. I think this shows that the meeting was done properly, and this is what Flus said. One of the first things we talk about is respect. Respect in the building for staff members, for everybody that's in the building. That feedback is done in a respectful way. It's also got to be honest. It's also got to be forthright. It's also got to be detailed, getting to the common solution that's workable for everybody. That's what we're doing here. So that gives me a lot of faith that this meeting was conducted well. And just like yesterday, I want to leave you with something here as well. Caleb's light is turning on. We've got Roschon Johnson participating in a power running game. Defenses have been stacking 7, 8, 9 guys in the box and then putting us in third and long and blitzing the heck out of us. With Roschon Johnson with the power game, with Caleb Williams light starting to go on, with hopefully offensive coordinator Shane Waldron back to his normal self, ready to call these plays that need to be called and to do his job well. I mean, another trivia question I asked it yesterday: what team started a rookie quarterback last year, had a successful season, and started 1-3? I'm going to wait. Wish I had Jeopardy music once again, but that team is the Houston Texans. And good news, the Houston Texans point differential was 27 points. The Bears point differential is only 11. Guys, win this game, go 2-2, move forward confidently, and I'm confident that all these things can be fixed. Ryan Bates is going to come back from injured reserve within the next couple weeks, we will have the center that was intended. Ryan Bates at center. Coleman Shelton was never meant to be the starter. He was meant to be depth. This whole mess up with, Davis kind of being an idiot. And also with Ryan Bates getting hurt, just kind of shifted around the plans of this offensive line. But Pryor looks like the fit at right guard, at least the best fit that we have. When Ryan Bates gets back and Caleb Williams continues to progress, I think you're going to see a drastically different offense a couple weeks from now. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'll see you guys in the comments. Bear down. This has been a great offseason. It's been an okay regular season so far too. We have some growing pains, and I think those growing pains stop and we have a successful game against the Rams. If not, you're going to see a completely different tenor coming from me. You guys will talk soon. See ya.